Welcome back, Bulldogs fans. This video might be a little bit on the longer side. We're going to be looking at the first playoff opponent in Parkersburg South, and then we're going to be breaking down and predicting the entire 4A playoff bracket. So if you enjoy this video, leave a like and subscribe below. Let's jump right in. The Bulldogs will host Parkersburg South Friday night in round one of the playoffs. Martinsburg leads the all-time series 6-2, with Parkersburg South's last win over the Dogs coming in that muddy 2003 state title game where Parkersburg would go on to win 26-20 due to a late fumble. Despite their 3-7 record, the Patriots do have some talented skill players, including the 6'5" wide receiver Todd Joyce, who's garnered some college interest in his senior year, racking up 9 touchdowns and a pair of interceptions. Junior gadget player Cameron Jackson leads the way rushing, but they do use a handful of guys out the backfield. Overall, this offense has been a big letdown this season, averaging just 11 points in the 7 games they've lost. Defensively, they've given up only 35 points in 3 games this season, and those were against the state's best offenses. Derek Sandy has been the leading tackler, and Channing Barrett has led the way, snagging 6 interceptions. This defense hasn't been the biggest problem, but they've been gashed for big plays against the best teams in the state, like Morgantown, University, and Spring Mills. I see that happening here. I expect the defensive line for the Bulldogs to eat on the defensive side and force a pass-heavy approach. I wouldn't be surprised if the Patriots do score late, but I'm going to take the Dogs to dominate this one 49-7. Now I'm going to move on and preview and predict the entire bracket for the 4A West Virginia playoffs. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe below. Let's go ahead and jump into the left side of the bracket, starting with the 1 seed, 9-1 Morgantown hosting the 16 seed, 2-8 Buckhannon Upshur. I'm going to predict Maddox, Twigg, and company win big. Buckhannon has allowed 34 or more points in 9 of 10 of their games this season, and Morgantown has looked lights out against everyone but Martinsburg. I'll predict a 42-0 win for the Mohigans. Next up, the 8 versus 9 game as 4-6 Musselman travels to 6-4 Spring Mills, looking to avenge that 20-0 loss in Week 4. Both teams finished 3-3 after that matchup, and both struggled with consistency down the stretch. I do think this game is going to be close. Musselman plays hard, but I do think the coaching edge for Spring Mills will make the big difference, so give me the Cardinals in a low-scoring 13-7 win. Moving to the 4 versus 13 matchup, and we stay in the Panhandle as the red-hot 6-4 Jefferson Cougars host the 3-7 Washington Patriots after beating them at Washington just last week. Jefferson started the season 0-4 with just 1 offensive touchdowns in those first 4 games. They made a quarterback change in that Week 4 Martinsburg game, and since then, they're on a 6-game win streak and averaging 38 points per game. Washington hasn't scored since October 10th, so give me Jefferson big, probably near the same score as last week. I'll predict 42-0 Cougars. Final first-round game on the left side of the bracket gives us 5 seed George Washington hosting 12 seed Oak Hill. George Washington enters 8-2 and fell victim to Jefferson during that win streak where they'd be a top 3 seed heading into the playoffs. Oak Hill finished 5-5 and on a 2-game losing streak, one of which was a 42-13 loss to Woodrow Wilson, who George Washington just dismantled 42-0. So give me the Patriots on the legs of their freshman running back phenom, Jaden Black, with a 35-7 score. On to the second round, my predicted matchup would be a rematch between 1 seed Morgantown and 8 seed Spring Mills, where I lean toward Morgantown. The Cardinals defense limited Twigg severely in their first matchup, and I could really see that happening again here, but the Mohigans defense is too strong, and Spring Mills offense leaves a lot to be desired. Give me Morgantown in a close 14-0 win. Their opponent would be between Jefferson and George Washington, and I just think Jefferson has been so good lately. I'm going to take them in another close 35-31 win over George Washington, but this game could truly go either way. I'm sure George Washington has revenge on their minds, and they have arguably the best freshman in the state. I'm excited for this matchup if both teams handle business in round 1. Those results would bring a Jefferson versus Morgantown semifinals matchup where I think Morgantown would get all they could handle, and I think they'd win a close one 21-15 thanks to a late Maddox Twigg touchdown, sending Morgantown to their first state title appearance since 2005. Now onto the right side of the bracket where 2 seed Huntington hosts Hedgesville and this game shouldn't be close. Huntington is the most college-loaded team in the state, and Hedgesville's program just hasn't turned things around. They're also without their star quarterback, Chaz Milburn, so give me the Highlanders to win big, 56-0. 10-seed Parkersburg travels to 7-seed University to take on one of the better offenses in the state. University had a bye this past week, so they haven't played since October 31st, and a tough 21-0 loss to top-ranked Morgantown. University should get that offense rolling again here, but if they hang their heads or that 2-week layoff gets them off to a slow start, don't be surprised if Parkersburg hangs around and has upset on their mind. I am going to go University, though, in a 33-14 win. I think they're just too much for Parkersburg. Next is Martinsburg versus Parkersburg South. I broke this down at the beginning of the video, but if you skip to the bracket part, I think Martinsburg wins 49-7. Last is 6-seed Wheeling Park taking on 11-seed Woodrow Wilson. Wheeling Park should pull out a win in this game. I don't see how Woodrow can slow down Brennan Wack, who's averaging nearly 200 yards per game, but I wouldn't be surprised if this game is still close late. I'll take Wheeling to win 28-13 on the legs of Wack, wearing down that Woodrow defense. On to the second round matchups. I'd have Huntington hosting University, and this could be a closer game than many expect. Huntington has dominated the trenches all year, and I think that's what's going to happen here. University might be able to make a few plays to keep them around, but give me the Highlanders in a 34-21 win off a late score to widen the gap. Next, I'd have Martinsburg hosting Wheeling Park, and this should be another Bulldogs win. Wheeling leans heavily on the run game, and Martinsburg just hasn't shown many weaknesses there this season. That run defense, coupled with a 50-point-per-game offense, is hard to deal with as a run-heavy team, and I think Wheeling has a ton of trouble after going down 2 scores early. I wouldn't be surprised if they manage the clock and maybe keep it close in the first half, but I'll go with Martinsburg to pull away 35-14. That would bring up the much-anticipated rematch between Martinsburg and Huntington, which once again would be played in Huntington. The last 2 meetings have been decided by 3 points combined, and I truly think this game would come down to the final possession again. Martinsburg's really clicked since that first meeting between these two, and I'm going to take our Dogs getting revenge in a 33-27 win, sending them back to the state championship in hopes of a third three-peat in 15 years. And that would mean I have Martinsburg playing Morgantown in the state championship game and a rematch of the Week 7 game at Martinsburg, where the Bulldogs shut down Maddox Twigg and beat Morgantown 34-6. I see a similar fate in this game for the Mohigans. Twigg is one of the best prospects this state has seen in a long time, which gives Morgantown a chance every time they play, and I think this game will be a lot closer than the previous meeting, given Twigg should be healthier in this game. But I'll take the Bulldogs to win a 28-14 game, capturing their 12th state title and third three-peat in 15 years. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe below. We're still going to be doing the recap and preview videos throughout the playoffs. So as always, stay blessed and go Bulldogs.